And now,
this is Jeremy Housewright of your Gate City Blue Devil football team, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
This is Michael Calhoun, speaking on behalf of the Gate City football and track team. We would like to thank you for listening to Gate City Sports Radio, home of the Blue Devils.
This is Luke Reed of the Gate City football, basketball, and soccer teams, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Go Big Blue.
This is Suzanne Moore of the Gate City Cross Country and Track teams, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Let's go, Blue.
We are the Gate City Cheerleaders, and you're listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, however you may be listening to us. I want to say thank you for making us a part of your Wednesday night. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. I'm Joe Carter along with Chris Carr, and we're broadcasting to you live from the Campus Drive-In here in the heart of Gate City. As we've got our Blue Devils weekly radio show. Tonight we're going to look ahead to the Gate City Union VHSL first-round matchup. We'll also take a look at the action from last week's Southwest Virginia Northeast Tennessee playoff action. We're going to have interviews here with with our Gate City coach and players. We're going to talk about some other fall sports going on. And again, of course, we'll have the Tweet It or Delete It, everybody that loves, and you keep clamoring for us. We'll bring it back once again. So want to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chris Carr. How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm about to thaw out. Went to school this morning and no heat in my classroom, but we persevered.
And do want to apologize for leading off the show with Mr. Carr. Anyway, so
appreciate that, Joe. I was hoping that we could just be anonymous on that.
No, we got to call you out on that. So no, it's all good. But anyway, do want to say thank you to everybody that listens to us, everybody that sponsors and help with us as well. And again, this week we've got Coach Housewright with us here. Coach, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you all?
Doing well. Who have you got with you tonight?
I've got Isaac Meade, Gary Price, and Austin Roberts.
All right. So, guys, appreciate you. Again, we've got the wireless mic tonight, so we're going to pass that around a little bit and give the fans a little bit better, in terms of volume. And so, anyway.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen? I mean, we lose all the listeners, and we're sitting here talking amongst ourselves. All right. So, Coach, you're in the playoffs. Talk to us a little bit about this rematch with Union coming up on Friday night.
I'm proud of these kids. They've worked hard all year. This is what they've worked towards, making it to the playoffs. And we've had a pretty good week of practice this week. I think as the week went on, we've gotten better and better, as far as from Monday to today, we're getting better, and we got one more day to go. And, we're just going to come out focused and do the best we can and see what happens.
How did it go last week with, having the off week? You were able maybe get some guys rested up, maybe a little bit healthier than what you've been the last few weeks?
It worked out pretty good. We had 3 days of practice last week. We got them a big long weekend because we were out of school Monday and Tuesday. So we practiced 3 days, and we got on and off the field pretty quick. So, I think everybody healed up pretty good. It's much needed rest for us.
Did the snow throw you off at all?
No, we liked it.
Like the snow, okay. So, again, I think temperature is supposed to be right around freezing on Friday night, about kickoff time. Is that something that you all think about or prepared for this week?
Nah, everybody's got to face it, so you just got to go out and not worry about that and concentrate on what you're supposed to do.
All right, so Isaac, let's go around the horn a little bit. Big season, like I said, you all are back in the playoffs, 4 wins over, from last year. Talk a little bit about what you've taken from the season and how you're ready to get ready for the postseason here.
Well, it's been a little bit rough and everything, but just persevered and kept on pushing. It's been kind of rough, but we just kept on going and took it one day at a time. So.
All right. Gary, what's your thoughts, buddy? Again, looking back on the season, again, it was a good season, a lot of positives from the year, and now you got to be in it to win it, and you are again taking on the Union Bears on Friday.
Yeah, we started off doing all right. We've done great, and then we made a few mistakes those next couple games, or a few games, I should say. But we learned from those mistakes, and that got us where we're at right now. And we've learned, and we progressed, and now we're heading to state now.
All the way. All right.
We're going all the way.
All right. Coming down the pike here, what do you think, Austin?
We started off the year good, and then we kind of let it slide back down, but then we learned from our mistakes, like he said, and then we got it back on track and turned this season around so we can be at the playoffs and hopefully go for it all and bring one back for this community like they deserve for staying with us the past 3 years.
Talk a little bit about, and we'll go back around the horn, senior year. This is last go-around. Is it a little bit more special this go-around than the last couple years? And what's your thoughts, again, is entering the playoffs as a senior?
I think as a senior it's hard that we have to leave this program because we've spent 4 years in this. But I feel like we know that we've not been there a lot of times. We've only been there once in our high school career. This will make the second time. I feel like we're going to be ready to go and try to turn it back around.
Gary, so you as, again, senior year, your thoughts as you enter the playoffs as a senior?
Well, Robert's pretty much said it all. Like he said, we've only been once in our high school career. It's going to make the second time. Just got to ride it out, basically. Just live on through.
Last but not least, like I said, going around the horn a little bit. So, what's your thoughts, buddy, in terms of, again, senior year, entering the playoffs for like only the second time?
Well, they said in law in the past few years, but I'm just taking it this year. 4 and 6. 4 and 6 on. I can't remember. 4 and 6 on the season. We could have done better. Wish we would have, but right now we're 0-0. Got to go to 5-0.
It only takes 5 to win. So, Coach, again, just reflective a little bit on the season as a whole. A lot of positive. What are some of the things that you thought was maybe surprised you, or some of the great things that you're taking from the season just as it is right now?
Just how hard these kids work and how hard they play. I mean, they control that, and they've done a good job of controlling their attitude and their effort. And, they bring both of them. Everybody's had a great attitude this year. Their effort's been great. I mean, on Friday nights, no matter what's going on, they're all playing their tails off. And, I think that's a positive going into the playoffs. We learned from a few of the mistakes we've had. I think we're going to be okay. We just got to come out and keep playing the same energy and emotion that we played with all season long. And, like they said, everybody's 0-0. It don't matter what your regular season record was now. The only thing was getting in the playoffs. And, I think we're getting ready to go. I mean, we're ready.
Does it mean a little bit more taking on a rival like a Union? Again, Mountain 7 opponent that you all battle back and forth. And, of course, last time that Gate City met Union in the playoffs, it was a second-round upset at the time. Gate City knocked off Union. Does it mean a little bit more taking on the Bears?
Nah, I mean, you're going to have to play. I mean, it don't matter who you start out with. You're going to have to play them anyway. The farther you advance, everybody in the playoffs, you're here for a reason. Everybody's good. It don't matter who we're playing against. I mean, we're just focused on, doing what we can do to control what we can control, and do the best we can and do our jobs and block a little longer and run a little harder. And, it don't matter who the opponent is. We've just got to take care of ourselves first.
Well, the teams that you played during the regular season that you would face in the playoffs, I personally was hoping for Union. Just from a selfish standpoint of enjoying the game, when y'all played them before, you gave them all they wanted really for 3 1/4 quarters. A little bit of a slow start, but after that, you outplayed Union. So I'm kind of looking forward to Gate City getting another shot at them.
I mean, we look forward to it. The thing about our Union game, it was old school Southwest Virginia football.
Yep.
I mean, both teams lined it up and we ran it. And, and I think that's what people like around here. That's what I personally like. I like a good knockdown, drag out, And I look for the same thing to happen this week. I mean, I think both teams are going to line it up and we're going to run it. And, both of us are good at doing that. And both of us they're pretty good defensively and we're getting better defensively. And, you know, it's just going to be an old Southwest Virginia old school football game that everybody likes to watch around here.
Yeah, that's Coach Self at Emory and Henry. He said the perfect game was no passes, no punts, and no penalties. That's kind of the I think what you all sort of adopted as well. You know, of course, Coach, in terms of getting ready for the playoffs, has your preparation changed at all? I mean, you know, like I said, of course, I guess is there anything else that you've sort of thrown in, or that you've tried to change, or you're just looking to do the same things as you did in the regular season?
We're working on what we do best. You know, we're working on a few other things. As the year went on, we worked on a few other things, and you know, we're just trying to sharpen up what we do best. And yeah, just trying to get better fundamentally, and you know, I mean, the only thing that's really changed is it gets dark early, so.
A little bit cooler. So again, Isaac, you know, talking about Union, you all have seen them before. Your initial thoughts about taking on the Bears at Bullitt Park again up front. What do you think about Union?
Well, unfortunately, I was out for the first time with the meniscus tear, but I'm really excited for this game, and because it's the first time I get to play them, and just going to do what we can and do our best.
Gary, you had a great game. Of course, one of the Premier Pharmacy players of the game last time. Of course, when y'all took Wide Central out played them a couple weeks ago. Your thoughts again? What you've seen on film? Again, you mix it up in the middle, up front. What do you think about that Union offense and defensive lines? And do you think it's something you all can exploit?
I think their offensive line is pretty steady, and they're the same with their defensive line. They move off the ball pretty quick on their defensive line, but their offensive line, it's all right. But I think our defensive line, we can take them on. It's just going to be almost a repeat of the last time with their lines, but it's going to be a different outcome of this game. But their line it's all right, but ours is better. Don't shake.
That leads into you, big man, Austin.
No pressure there. After
no
that
pressure
intro.
at all, but I mean, you know.
I think their offensive line's pretty good. They know how to come off the ball, but I think our defensive line knows what to do as we've been practicing this week. And I think if we wrap up and don't let them get out of our tackles and we wrap up and take them, then we'll be all right. And our offense will drive down the field and hopefully put it in for us.
Do you feel pretty confident taking on the Bears? Again, as Chris mentioned, you all outplayed them for a majority of the game. After the start of the second quarter, you outscored them 14-7 in a back and forth game. Do you all take some confidence from that in taking on Union?
I think so. I think as long as we come out fast and hard and stay that mentality all game long and know that they're going to come right back at us like they did last time, we've got to stay in front of them and do our job, and the chips will fall where they fall.
Gary, your revenge, repay, or payback, any thoughts about that, again, when you face this Union Bear team?
It's definitely revenge from this year, last year, but no, I lost my words. But if we come out there with the same energy that we did the last time in the second quarter, the same mentality, and just keep driving on and keep doing what we're doing, it's going to be a good game.
What do you think, McMahon?
Well, I really don't know what to say in this one. Just going to try to pound them and run the ball down the throat. 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Maybe a cloud of mud. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how.
I think that mud may be frozen from what you were saying about the forecast.
Maybe the frozen tundra of Bullitt Park. So, again, this ball game takes place at 7:00 on Friday night. Coach, you take a look at the district as a whole. Was there anything that surprised you on the season? You know, of course, John Battle ended the season at 2-8, and Lee went winless. And what was your thoughts about the district race as a whole? Is there anything that surprised you or sort of stood out?
We play in a tough district. I mean, you look at Ridgeview and Central and Union and Abingdon. You know, I mean, those teams are pretty good. They got good records. you know, and it's, you know, every week in and week out, and